a 9 to 5 besides my own work and business. That's been really demanding of me.
Yeah.
It's boring. I need like a whole week of sleep.
You need a vacation and then a vacation from your vacation.
I sound tired. I don't mean to. I should have had a cup of coffee.
I will do my best to uplift your spirits and get some energy going. We must keep the fans entertained.
My screen keeps going black. What the hell? I'm using it. What's this stupid phone? Okay. What's up, everybody? You already know it's your favorite Jedi, BMF Goddess. And from the Dragon's Den, weighing in at well over 500 scales, he is the founding member of the Black Mafia and is the eternal BWA Pride champion. This is the Black Dragon, Maurice Jones.
Here I am, and here I shall always be. Thank you for having me, Goddess. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for being here.
Of course, you're honored.
Long overdue.
Definitely.
Guys, today we're going to be talking pro wrestling, everything, what's going on in all the promotions. It's a free floor, so if you want to join in the conversation, please do. Send your message. We will interact with you. You already know how it goes. So, I don't know, Maurice, you want to start off? How you feeling tonight? First of all, tell us a little bit about you, since you're my first-time co-hosts.
Gotcha.
Tell us a little about you and your career and stuff.
So, I've been wrestling in total off and on a little over, 10 years now. My first start was in just a bunch of little promotions, from CWE in Jersey to BWF to Ace, the old school Ace Arena. I've trained with any and everybody, I could, from, King Jeter to Dan Maff to just everybody that I can absorb knowledge from. I then wind up launching my own Fed, NGW, New Generation Wrestling. Yeah, so it was interesting to be on the other side, seeing what it's like behind the curtain. I learned a lot of lessons there. Then wind up getting injured, actually, in a match against one of the guys from Private Party, because of a bad ring. So then I had to take some time off. Then did a couple of matches here and there, and slowly making my comeback.
All right, awesome. I didn't know that you were building a Fed as well. It's hard work, man. When you're doing thinking and all that, definitely I'll share, I'll support.
Definitely, much appreciated, yeah. But definitely, if one piece of advice, if somebody is trying to start their own federation, buy aspirin, because you're going to have headaches. You're going to have headaches.
Sounds like my job. Okay. What should we start with here? Some of the latest news. I got a couple of things that I jotted down that I wanted to talk about, but
let's do it.
Guys, don't be quiet out there listening. Add your 2 cents. You can talk about whatever you want. There's so many things to talk about in the wrestling.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's so many things happening just this week, from SummerSlam to NXT to alleged CM Punk news to, where's released people going to the revamp of NXT. There's so much. I guess we can start on the revamp of NXT if you want.
You know what's funny? I was just gonna start with NXT. I have also things on. Okay, so NXT has changed more ways than any other aspect of WWE programming since the move back to the network's television in 2019. The Black and Gold brand has gone through some notable stylistic adjustments to match the production value on Raw and SmackDown, but its main function and targeted audience is one where we can see more of a difference. The former developmental brand used to work a smaller, unfiltered version of WWE shows where new faces could establish a character and familiarity to the company's house style. Then it would, act as a feeder for the main roster. It has been. These days, sort of a third brand, as it is become more similar to its red and blue counterparts. There's a few call-ups, and there's been a lot of call-ups, and some of the big stars, such as Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa, have opted to stay put, while NXT alumni like Finn Balor and Tyler Breeze have returned to their old stomping grounds. And I heard recently that Adam Cole was in talks about it, right? Yes. I heard something about Vince and him in talks, and I'm worried for him.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. So I have two minds about this. One is
Master, I have mail for you.
The other as a business owner. Now, as a fan, NXT, I'd say maybe 2016-ish, 2015, 2016 to about 2019-ish was some of the best wrestling you would see on TV. You would have the characters. It was an alternative to the regular rigmarole of Raw and SmackDown, in my opinion. But we were spoiled because what NXT was supposed to be, it wasn't. So NXT is supposed to be a developmental brand, and it became a WWE independent shelter, because all the top indie guys were taken and drafted and put on NXT. So we were spoiled because this thing that was supposed to be a developmental brand had people from all over the world. Hell, Finn Balor ran a wrestling school. Why is he on NXT? Right? So from what it was supposed to be, it wasn't. So them changing it and revamping it now, knowing that that's what I enjoyed, it's difficult. But then as someone who's ran a wrestling company, the idea that it's supposed to be a feeder to the main roster, it has to be revamped because you're booking vets on a rookie brand. You're supposed to have a couple to help, like do what maybe Chris Hero was doing for a while and help them, get seasoned and put them over. But you signing, established teams and all these made names isn't what a developmental brand is. So we were spoiled a little bit, but I get them revamping it. The problem I have is 75% of the people who got called up, and in my opinion were stars on NXT, came up and were wasted on the main roster. For example, Tyler Breeze. Huge fan of Tyler Breeze. Easy gimmick. Is he going to be a top guy? No. But you can't tell me that Tyler Breeze, as a face or a heel, couldn't have been a top mid-card talent. Easily.
Yeah.
He had the charisma. He had the charisma. He had the
Master, I have mail for you.
He was trained by Lance Storm. He had all the tools.
Master, I have mail for you.
It worked. And what did they do? They tried to give it to The Miz for no reason. It lasted for a cup of coffee. It didn't make sense. And it was wasted. And then even when they did bring him up and was doing the fashion police, which at first was weird, but they made it work and it was entertaining. But then they let him flounder. He didn't do anything. The Ascension.
Yeah.
When Ascension was in NXT, they were a dominant tag team. They looked like they could make it on the main roster. And then they put shoulder pads on them and makeup and told them, hey, you're better than all these tag teams. And they got buried. But then they went back to NXT for like one day and they were heroes again. There's a difference in the way they're treated. Okay, Neville.
Yeah.
You can't name me 10 high flyers better than Neville. Period. Now, they tried. They didn't like kill him, but when he went up to the main roster, he just wasn't as special. He just wasn't. There's a difference. It's like you do all this stuff in NXT and you show up on the main roster and they act like it never happened.
Right. Yep.
So you could do all this work, establish all this character, and you go up, and it doesn't happen. Now, the women is a little different. They're treated a little better, which is rare to see in wrestling.
Yeah.
You know, so they're definitely given a little bit more oomph. But some of these guys, like, do you remember Bo Dallas in NXT?
Oh my God.
Were you watching it then? Bo Dallas is one of the most entertaining parts of NXT. For a long time.
Right.
Like, he was that bully. It was great. He was a caricature of John Cena, in my opinion. And it worked. It worked. And when he lost the title and they were running all around, it was entertaining. And he went up and it was just like, who is this guy? He's nothing. And I don't know if they ruined them. It's like they start them over from scratch, but then because they treat them like they're still indie guys and we've got to make you the way you're supposed to be here, I'd say 75 to 80% of the people.
They do so well in NXT. Why change that?
Because they don't want you to make yourself. They don't want you to make yourself. They want to make you.
Yeah.
Because if you can make yourself, you get say so. You become too valuable. They are not trying to make anybody bigger than the company. Because if they make you bigger than the company and you're not a company guy, it shoots them in the foot. They want you company made and having to depend on the company. That's it. That could be the only reason. Because you have people that have star level talent, star level charisma. You don't make it all the way up there for nothing. You don't luck your way into WWE. But they want to make you. And if they don't, they'll punish you for it. Look at what happened with Zack Ryder.
Right.
He got over on his own and they punished him for it. I see two things from Jordan.
Yeah, they made Neville superhero, but you know how they are with the NXT call-ups. I mean, some of them actually worked out, but, you know, especially after what's currently going on right now. So, yeah.
Unfortunately, not nearly enough of them.
Not enough. Most of them don't. So why would you want to come up if you know, like, some guys were top guys? Like, how do you ruin?
Like, they know why the big stars in NXT are apprehensive.
Why would you stay if the money's similar? Why would you go up to get ruined? Nakamura is probably one of the best pure strikers in wrestling. He's entertaining. He's entertaining. He has the it factor. I follow NJPW. I'm a big fan. Okada, oh my God. Right? I'm a big fan. But the thing is, a lot of them don't have character.
I love Okada.
Okay. A lot of them don't have character. Nakamura could back it up. Mm-hmm. He can be safe, but make stuff look snug. He could beat anybody believably, but he also had a character that worked. And NXT, he was the dude. And they brought him up, and he had a nice start, and then they cool him off, and he feels like just a regular person. And they're trying to do something with him now. But now, how many years has it been? How are you starting now to try to get back what you started with? Bobby Roode. No, I'm not a big Bobby Roode fan. I'm not. I feel like he's Triple H light. Just doesn't do it for me. But when he came in, right, he's a good worker. I respect it. He's just not my guy, right? I respect it. Perfect in the team. He's a perfect cog, but he's not going to be a star to that level. But when he came in with the Glorious, sometimes something clicks and it works. It was money. It worked. They regulated him to just a regular person. Who came from NXT that was NXT made that made it? Who's that top person that was NXT made it? Now, there's a couple guys that it failed and it wasn't WWE's fault. Because, like, Samoa Joe, he got hurt. He's injury prone. I get it.
Charlotte Flair.
The females, the women, those are the only ones that they treat like they exist, which is totally backwards from what they do with wrestling. I appreciate it. The women are the ones that are treated like they're made. And it doesn't make sense that they're treating like the shows they know what they're doing. But yes, the women. It's all the women. All the women come in with the same gusto that they had at NXT. They show up and they still have it. The way they're booking Bianca Belair, money. Money. And I don't change it, right? Keep doing that. But it shows that they know what they're doing. So why can you book Bianca Belair that good, but you can't book Chad Gable like he's a monster? What was that Shorty G crap?
That just ruined him.
You're trying to kill a pure athlete. So he's small, okay, so you don't give a crap about small guys, but you've brought up some bigger guys too. It doesn't matter.
Let me play these two messages.
Yes, please.
Tweeted this earlier, for them to blame Triple H for losing to AEW, the Wednesday Night Wars or whatever. it's ridiculous. But I don't know. So much for Vince not being intimidated by AEW.
Yeah, it's all bullshit. My man Triple H doesn't deserve anything but fucking top respect. Because he's
people trying to out-politic the top politicker. Because that's all it is. You're mad because the developmental brand lost to an established company that has a billionaire backing. How is that fair? Like, how is that a fair competition? Right? How is that a fair competition? That's like being mad that Sunday Night Heat couldn't beat, Thunder. How is that a fair competition? Right? So that's crazy. But because the lost and they're so competitive and they're used to being top of the mountain with nobody looking, nobody even coming close, the fact that somebody is coming close, it's scary. The fact that they have no new top stars besides Roman. Roman's their guy, but Roman's already have links to Hollywood. I don't see Roman being on top for as long as the Cenas and the Austins were.
Yeah.
It took him a bit longer to get up there in his career. We have, the health issues and things. And of course, do I wish? Nothing but the best. I think this is what we've been asking for years. Vince, I tell you one thing, he's a determined man. He wanted to get Roman over. He got Roman over. He absolutely did. It worked.
When you should have did a long time ago. I don't know why he was shoving the feet down our throats. I don't know.
Listen, at the end of the day, the madman got what he wanted. Fine. But who's next? Who's the next in line? Who's the working cog? You don't have that person. You don't. They're not making new stars. They're not making new stars on that level. I remember watching pay-per-views where there was an argument over who the top guy was back in the day. Was it going to be Cena? Was it going to be Orton? Was it going to be Rock? Was it going to be, Austin? There was different debates. Now it's just like, it's nowhere near there. It's not as hot, and I don't think it's just the fans. It's the way it's booked. They're not booked to feel special.
They changed rules about how you can't even get into WWE now. Like, you can't even be past, I think past 30. It's a younger age. I know it's 30 or something, but you can't be past that age anymore. They don't take people past a certain age. They changed a lot of things. It's not like before at all.
It's not, and I can understand from an old school mentality, but then anytime you look at a rule like that, there's somebody who broke it. Look at DDP. DDP didn't get popping until he was like 40 something. But look at the career DDP had. Then you don't want to start people new. Look at when they got AJ Styles. And look at some of the stuff AJ Styles is still doing. It's astounding.
There's a reason why it's World Wrestling Entertainment, because it's not about the sport anymore. It's about entertaining. This is why we got all this. I'm not a fan of
entertaining. If it's not entertaining, then it's just world. It has to be entertaining. Because again, from a business perspective, think about it. You're running a Fed, right? The entertainment part makes sense because whatever somebody is doing that's part of the entertainment, that's less risk on their body, right? A comedy character is going to have a longer tenured career than someone who's in the main event every week and getting their body beat in. So from money and dollar sense, I get it. I understand. Storylines and entertainment, that lasts the longest in memories. People remember what, screw Hogan, but people remember what he would do, not necessarily his moves, but you remember what he represented. Okay, you remember some of the antics of Austin. You remember his matches if you're a true rabid fan, but if you're a casual, you remember some of the things that he did. There's value in that. I get that. But also, it has to leave a lasting impression and has to mean something. I don't care. I'm not going to care 5 years down the line that Nakamura stole a crown. That's not going to leave a lasting impression. So they have to fine-tune it. But it comes down to, you got writers that don't know wrestling booking a wrestling show. Where they do that at?
Yeah.
I would like to say that there was one male group that did come from NXT and actually did manage success in WWE, and it's one, ironically, that I think a lot of people forget was in NXT, and that was the Wyatt family.
Yes.
True.
Oh my God, that brings up actually just bad thoughts right now, especially with the whole Bray Wyatt thing.
I don't get it. Like, Bray Wyatt being released, makes no sense.
Oh, well, you did hear about Vince's mystery man. He has calling shots now, right?
I heard rumblings about it. We'll see.
Whoever this person is, he is allowing to have full control, and this is a cause of all the recent, let goes. It's getting crazy, man. Honestly, Bray, he's awesome. Like, he could do his thing elsewhere, but it's just
he's gonna be good anywhere. Yeah, but just from merchandise alone, bro, he was selling merch and didn't even have to wrestle.
For real.
You find something that's entertaining and you still mess it up.
And it belongs to WWE.
So they're just gonna let Bliss do it, I guess. But that was dumb. I would have just had him do it. There was just so many matches that he lost that didn't make sense. Him losing to Goldberg. I can't stand Goldberg. Now,
Thank
like,
you.
I don't get the
Thank
point.
you.
I don't
Oh
get
my
the point.
God.
Like, I can see.
We just become best friends.
You should have been had me on. So now I
man.
understand. I definitely think it has something to do with the Saudi Arabia shows. I think there's money in him for that. But to put him in main event, big matches, title, championship matches, makes no sense to me. Because we know he can't put on a 20-minute stellar performance. In his peak, he couldn't put on 20-minute stellar performance. Now he's past 50. Okay? Now, shout outs to Ziggler for giving him that match that made him look like $1 million. But we know that was Ziggler. Right? But this match with Lashley, it doesn't even matter who wins or look. It's not going to be good. Style-wise. We know this. And you shouldn't have to carry a match with Goldberg when the title's on the line. Like, in the main event picture. For what? For what? I can't talk nothing about Cena because Cena's entertaining and Cena can put together a good match. It'll make sense.
Yeah.
And the heat of the moment
One
when Tom
thought
comes.
Velveteen Dream was gonna be the guy, I guess, until those allegations came out, and it's just didn't work for there. So it's kind of understandable now.
Yo, Jordan's gonna get me started, and I'm sorry, Dragon. I didn't mean to press that while you were talking.
It's all good. I was a huge Velveteen Dream fan of the character.
Oh my God.
It worked. It was money. I knew it wasn't going to fly on WWE because they wouldn't have, I gave it time to work. But he had the charisma, the character work, and he was delivering good matches. I just had a little bit of hope for him because he seemed like he was WWE made. But too many allegations. When there's smoke, there's fire. Get him out of here. I heard also allegedly he was filming people in the shower. Yeah, you gotta go home and you finish.
Yeah, he's just a dirtball, and
That's it.
I'm not even gonna waste some more airtime on him because he really broke my heart. Like I was really.
Bro, I was a big fan. I think we did become best friends because I was a huge fan. I was fiending for that match with him versus Tyler Breeze. Thought it would never happen. It happened and it was great. And then you find out he's a dirt. And he gotta go. That's it. Happens.
Yeah, that's it. Like nothing. Sorry, can't fuck with those.
I totally agree with you, Mr. Jones, on that, Merritt, as exactly what you said. I'm not going to care, 5-10 years down the road that AJ Styles was tag team champions with a big 7-foot giant, but I'm always going to care that he was one of the pioneers and leaders of Bullet Club, because Bullet Club was always the greatest thing, is my opinion, that'll ever come into wrestling. Bullet Club is too sweet for life.
Now, Goldberg is a very boring wrestler, I give you that, but his entrance is freaking epic. Once again, not my guy. I feel like he's a goddamn Stone Cold ripoff, which is my guy. He's cool, though.
He's cool for the entrance you can see on YouTube back in the day. There's no reason that we gotta see the entrance and then the bell rings and the mystique is gone.
Exactly.
If you wanted to do that, have him show up, not wrestle. We looking for the spear. Just have him show up, spear, jackhammer somebody, and he don't have to wrestle matches. He shows up, beats people up, go home. You don't have to do matches. There's something that they forget, like, there's different aspects of a wrestler. Sometimes they forget these things. For example, one of my favorite, in my top 10 wrestlers is Cesaro, right? I think talent, like, how do you mess up Cesaro? they messed up Cesaro, right? But
Yeah.
fine, talking isn't his strong suit, which I disagree with. Because I think Claudio is very entertaining. He speaks multiple languages. He has a good sense of humor. You know how I know? Have you seen him up, down, down? He clearly is entertaining. So you're wrong, right?
They
But
don't,
cool.
they don't let him do no promo work.
They don't let him do what he does.
If
The
he
best
was-
wrestlers.
It'd be, everything.
It's
Yeah.
yourself with a microphone. It's yourself turned up. Now, we still have to reel some people in to avoid mass cast at moments? Sure. Okay, you can't just let them run wild. But it's yourself turned up is the best. Roman has been doing the best promo work of his career. Why? It hasn't been scripted. They let him go. Some of AEW's promos I like because they let the people rock. Some people are going to flounder, some people are going to exceed. But there are going to be people that are talented without being on the mic. Shelton Benjamin, beautiful, pure athlete. On the mic,
Yeah.
I don't remember one memorable good promo from Shelton Benjamin. Does that mean now you can't use him? Are you going to put him to the side and value him less than somebody like The Miz, who on the mic is up there?
Yeah. Everything. When he's traveling the ring.
But in the ring, he's mediocre. But they won't value somebody like The Miz like him over somebody like Shelton Benjamin. That's not the way I book. Now, is there value in both? Absolutely. There's a way to make things work. But the fact that they did something like put Cesaro with Heyman and then still had him talking about Brock shows me what they care about. You're not trying to make stars. You're trying to take what's established and stretch it as long as possible. And it's going to be only a certain amount of time that you can do that because people are going to age out. Money ain't going to be as good. It's not going to be as lucrative.
Exactly.
Oh man, don't get me started on Bray Wyatt, man.
Yeah. It's like me.
Bro,
It's like, don't try to fix something that doesn't need to be fixed. It's crazy.
no, they did. They broke it. When he lost to Goldberg, no, I think it was when he first lost to Rollins. I think it might have been in the cage. There was a match he lost that just didn't make any sense and didn't need to happen. And then when he lost the title to Goldberg, it's like, now he's no longer special. Like, now he's not as cool. They could have had this generation's version of The Undertaker, and they ruined it. They absolutely ruined it. It makes no sense.
Oh, man.
Look, I don't hate Goldberg. It's like you have so much other superstars that could have went for the WWE Championship, and here comes Goldberg getting the title shot. Like, come on. Again, no hate, but really?
I'll hate because there's too much talent that could do something with the shot. Something that could do something with the shine. Put Keith Lee in that same spot, not saying that he's going to win, but let him have a showcase. Let him get close. Let him barely lose and let the champion show some type of nervousness and fear. And you just elevated somebody. Because what you're going to do after this match, where does it go? How does it lead to something positive? Goldberg wins in a shitty match and he goes on to face somebody else. And it's a shitty match.
Sorry, go ahead.
It doesn't lead nowhere. Or he beats Goldberg in 6 minutes, and in story it might elevate him, but does it really? No. Your best case scenario is Big E cashing in to wrestle Goldberg so you can finally get the match he always wanted. But when your best chance is personal, like, it's dumb. It's not good long term.
It's like, fuck me, I forgot what I was gonna say.
No problem. Take your time.
I'm gonna just move on to some other shit I was gonna say. The popularity, like you were saying, the popularity of women's wrestling is at an all-time high around the world. there was a time when many indie promotions didn't even have a women's title, but within the last 6 years, that has quickly changed as women have proved to be an integral part of the industry. Like in 2018, Becky Lynch became one of the biggest stars on the WWE roster. The Man, Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey, they made history as the first women to main event WrestleMania in April 2019. And NXT's stacked women's roster has continued to produce some of the most remarkable and talented performers in the company. Women are the future more often than not. They have been the highlight of the card. They appear on, for example, in the 2021 Women's Royal Rumble match, easily upstaged the main event last, Thunder Rosa versus, how you say her first name? Hikaru Shida. I always have this problem. Yeah. Was also the best match at AEW All Out in September. Lynch and Sasha Banks, they were amongst WWE's most recognized stars. Sasha Banks still. So they should make plans to do a follow-up, I think, with all the noteworthy names on NXT UK. Do you watch NXT UK? I'm so behind. Like, I be wanting to. Just now there's so much wrestling to watch. Now they have the AEW Rampage. I'm like, all right, I'm a little overwhelmed.
It's oversaturation. So as far as the women, it's amazing because coming up, going from bra and panties matches and divas and women just being in the ring for eye candy to being respected athletes is amazing, and it's something that was a long, long time coming, and it's nice because, of course, there's going to be people that are going to look, right? We're guys, we have eyes, but when you can go in there and you can back it up when it makes sense, when it works, we'll respect it. And it's nice to see that it was also presented as something to be respected. Once upon a time, it wasn't. But when you have people that can go in there and do it and care about the business and are given time, that women's revolution, it happened. It definitely happened. And I think it really started with the NXT Women's Core being taken seriously, and then that the Mae Young Battle Royal or the Mae Young Classic, where it showcased a bunch of different women, a bunch of different styles, and it worked. And they mostly kept the momentum. Now they're still gonna have people like Evil, which I don't get it. Like, you have like so many celebrities or so many people that are better, but it's something that's a long time coming, and it's exciting. It's very exciting to see where the future will go, and to see how just that showcase there, it has a ripple effect because what works, people copy. So it's nice to see.
Yo, if Big E cashes in, man, that's gonna make me so happy because I'm still a big fan of Big E, and I feel like he deserves this shot. Like, the guy is very entertaining, very talented, and downright great guy. From a fellow guy from Tampa, gotta support my guys.
Definitely. Oh my God, Biggie's. A lot of respect for him. The only thing I say about Big E is I don't think he always had the confidence in himself that we have in him, but I think it's coming around now. Maurice, did you catch? I know it was one of SmackDown's, the after shows they be having. It was one of those where Big E sat down with Paul Heyman. And Paul Heyman gave him this 10-minute speech about how, you saw that?
Yes.
God, I had chills. I was like, this is what I'm talking. First of all, Paul Heyman, another pro wrestling genius.
Like Nobel Peace Prize or something.
Yeah.
Because, like,
oh my God, that's so funny because me and Chris talk about this. Just how amazing he is, especially with Roman Reigns and just his face, everything down to how his body with is just work.
The story alone. Just what he does outside the ring, the way he holds the belt, all the little things from showing his watch to holding the belt to the fear, is my guy gonna lose? Just for something to work off money. So Big E, I think he knows his talents. He just isn't the type to show it off.
Yeah, he's very humble.
He's very humble. But in wrestling, success, you have to be cocky because that's response. You look at the top guys, the top people in the company, you have guys who aren't the most humble and can politic. It's hard for a quote-unquote general good guy to make it to the top because somebody who's a fellow politiker will make it to the top faster than you. That's the history of wrestling and the top major promotions. That's just what works. But when it comes to what they say they want, a big guy who is entertaining, who can put on a good match, can sell, but also throw people around, but also move merch. How is that not Big E? That is the definition of a WWE wet drink. He can be serious. If he stopped and just started being serious, it would scare people.
Yeah.
It'd be frightening.
Let's face it, at some point we all want to see him be a heel.
If he just went and beat the hell, and I hope I don't see it no time soon, but if he went and just beat the hell, like Kofi and Woods in a bloody mess, and then smiled walking up the ramp, that would be something that'd be memorable forever. Now, it doesn't happen anytime soon, but there's money there as a heel. And then as a face, he's doing like snow angels in the ring. Like, there's money there. Okay, he can wear a bunch of different outfits, which is good for video games, good for toys. He's money. Why has he never been to the top? Because they regulated him in the tag team. He can go. He has an amateur wrestling background. He's a power lifter. He can go.
That's why his time is now.
I hope so. But look at what happened with Braun. Braun was their wet dream, and he gone.
That's two people talking about.
So
yeah, you guys were mentioning about Shelton Benjamin. You know, I was a huge fan when he first started, and then when he became a singles guy, you know, he was talented, had some pretty good feuds, and he had a win against Triple H, and eventually become the Intercontinental Champion. It was pretty great. I thought the whole, mama thing, I mean, it was kind of entertaining, but at the same time, it was kind of weird. But, yeah, I feel like Shelton Benjamin, he's very talented. No, not really the best on the mic, but super talented. I honestly thought Andrade was going to beat Kenny Omega this past weekend.
I honestly think Andrade would have, but because he just lost one title, they thought if he lost two titles, he would have been buried. So I think that's something that's coming.
Yeah.
I just think it's not yet, and I agree. I agree. So it's Andrade's time.
Yeah. Less than 2 weeks after his release from WWE, Nature Boy Ric Flair appeared at the Saturday night's Triple Mania. For those who don't know, that's Lucha Libre's pay-per-view, like WrestleMania, basically, event in Mexico City. The WWE Hall of Famer, he surprisingly accompanied Andrade to the ring for his AAA Mega Championship match against Kenny Omega. Flair, he's 72. He got physically involved in the match as well by stomping Omega from hitting Andrade with the belt, chomping and punching Omega, and then You know, he was putting Omega's corner man, Conan, into a figure 4 leg lock. Despite Flair's help, you know, Andrade still lost the match and Omega retained. He's held it for maybe 2 years straight. No. Can't be. Managing Andrade in this match was natural fit since, you know, Flair's daughter, Charlotte Flair, is engaged to Andrade, Grove. Following his WWE release in March, Andrade signed with AEW, where he's currently feuding with Pac, Ray Phoenix, and Penta El Zero M. With Flair. When Flair was released, it was immediately speculated that he would join, you know, his future son-in-law in AEW. In fact, Dave Metzler reported that before it happened. And during his short time in AEW, Andrade has already gone from having Vicky Guerrero as his mouthpiece to having Chavo Guerrero in that role. You know, Flair would perhaps be an even better fit. We know this. And on a statement on Twitter, Flair confirmed rumors that he had asked for his release from WWE and noted that he held no ill will toward the company. Flair's appearance at Triple Mania suggests that he may already be free and clear to appear at other companies without having to wait the 90 days, you know, in the non-complete clause that WWE normally does for everybody. Flair with WWE only relates to promotions within the United States, though based television shows. Regardless of when it happens, it seems like it will be only a matter of time before the Nature Boy shows up on Dynamite or Rampage to back up Andrade. What do you think?
It could happen. As a mouthpiece, you can't go wrong with Flair. I do worry about him getting physical. He's still 72. Seeing him put on or Conan was a little scary, but it's Flair. Flair said he would happily die in the ring. I don't want to see that, but he's been wrestling. As long as you can wrestle, it's Flair. Like, what can you say? I want to go back to one previous statement, then come back to this. The other guy said the mama gimmick for Shelton Benjamin was entertaining. He's trying to be nice. Like, come on, bro.
Thank you. I don't like it.
No, that didn't help. It didn't elevate. It didn't push merch.
In fact, I think it's kind of offensive.
It was offensive. It absolutely was offensive.
Why to be that?
Why is he to be stereotypical? Why does he have to be a boy? What, like, yes, it was. But when it comes to racially offensive things in WWE, there can be a show just on that. Like, friggin' Tozawa right now, isn't he a ninja? Like, come on. So, but Andrade and Flair in the 90-day competes. Speaking of 90-day competes, Aleister Black. Let's just take a minute to talk about Aleister Black. So first, as a talent, Aleister Black is amazing. Character, look, he can back it up. Big fan. Okay. Them messing up with the 90-day compete just shows people are slipping, because that was dumb. Valuable for him, but dumb. But then them signing Vega and then releasing him is dirty. That's dirty, because when has she done something back on TV?
I absolutely agree with you, Goddess, but on a personal level, I'm still waiting to see the women of AAA come into the fold. That's what I want to see. I want to see the women of AAA against the women of AEW, against the women of New Japan, and vice versa.
That'd be pretty godlike.
That's a lot, yeah.
NXT.
That's a lot. I want to see it.
That'd be madness. AEW. I'm sorry. I don't even know what's going on with Thunder Rosa. But I like Thunder Rosa.
She is really talented.
Yeah. But, you know, the AEW, I'm not a fan of Britt Baker whatsoever. As soon as she comes on, I change the channel.
I don't think her ring work. I dig the character. Because I think she's one of those annoying heels.
Yeah, I don't care about how over she is. I don't like her. I don't like her from the first moment I saw her. I mean, they're booking her good now.
Yeah.
But still, I'm not a fan.
I understand. How do you feel about Jade?
I feel nothing.
Okay.
I think that they definitely need to work on the women's roster.
Yeah.
They buried Nyla Rose too. I mean,
Oh my god. Nyla was so over. She came to the monster. And then later, that's...
but then again, you know, where's her personality too? Because I don't understand it.
But that's another thing, because I've personally booked Nyla Rose. And Nyla Rose has a great gimmick and great character and great personality. Just has to be given a chance to sort of show it.
Exactly. I don't feel like I see any of that.
Yeah. But
It's
I
like,
know
here's some scramble matches. Get out of here. We had to make you champion first because I guess we were trying to make a statement for the world.
Yes.
And that was it.
They were trying to get press.
But we don't really care about you. So go back to where we'd rather you be.
We're gonna show Sunnylicious. We're gonna showcase him.
What the fuck is going on with him?
Exactly. We're doing this for press, and then all right, go back, take your check, go sit down. Yeah.
It's terrible.
I remember the one time on like a WWE Women's Battle Royal, Gail Kim, like she just rolled out of the ring and just walked out or some shit like that.
I want to say I cannot tell you how happy, how elated, how enthralled I was when Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks buried Charlotte Flair on being the Elite, because I hate Charlotte Flair with a passion. I think she sucks. I think she's overrated, and I cannot wait to see her get her absolute beat down.
I'm sorry.
Dragon, hold on a second, Dragon. I'm sorry. But I have the same argument with Sal every time we talk about wrestling. Because I don't understand what's his problem with the Queen. Honestly, first of all, to be overrated, you have to actually be overrated. What is overrated about her? This woman busts her ass in the ring. She brings it every time. I feel her energy every time. She gets me excited. She entertains the shit out of me, and she whips ass. So you explain to me how that makes her overrated. Explain. I need an explanation for that.
First, let me say this. I agree with you 100%. You're right. That's wrong. Right. That's first. So the only complaint that I can see is she has a lot of championship wins in a short amount of time. And I can understand how somebody can be annoyed at that. Because a couple of those championship wins, and a couple of them was I win and then I lose. Right? So
I feel you on that. Definitely. Because there was a point where I felt the same.
Yeah, because I think Flair 16 title wins and Charlotte's gonna have that many more by next week, right? Which was hilarious, but it was kind of true, so I get you on that. But character-wise, money. You know who she is. She makes the match more entertaining. In ring, that's what she's supposed to do.
Let's face it, Dragon. She kind of been a little extra spicy ever since she got the Latino in her. You know? I have to say, since she's been with Andrade, she has been busting it down. I'm sorry.
Swag, absolutely.
He's giving her the oomph in her step.
Listen, she's taking it. Obviously, it's on the beach. I ain't mad at it. Now, out the points for the championships. Her last name's still Flair, so you have to shut up. That's
Hello.
it. That's
And
it.
you know what? It's all love, Sal, but
You're wrong, bro. You're wrong.
to explain everything.
Continue that, but you will bow down to the queen. That's what it is.
NXT guys that got released has the 30 days non-compete clause, so never know.
Yeah, but the
My
fact
opinion, I think WWE really missed out on Kenta, but you know he's doing better elsewhere. So
nah, Kenta's doing better.
Yeah,
I don't think
exactly. We don't know.
No way.
He needs to come over there.
Yeah, no, not at all. There was no point. They were already using most of his moves. His style is too strong, and his character isn't strong enough to get over in this environment. He's just built for where he's at, and look at what he's doing. As soon as he came back, he got turned into a star again. But you know what else irks me? It's things that work in NXT and you know would never work on the main roster, like the vaudevillains. Vaudevillains were entertaining. It worked. I enjoyed it. I liked it. And you know, it was never going to work on the main roster. Never. But I thought that was the point of developmental. But also, sometimes there are things that are just going to be entertaining. Sometimes, I had a conversation with a worker who was working under the name Shonuff at the time. He's now known as Hot Dog Starks. And I had saw him in a Fed, and I saw the talent in him, but I saw they weren't using him right. But I noticed that he was a comedy character. It worked. Like, he was funny. His facials worked. And I asked him, what is your goal in wrestling? And we spoke. And I told him, you can try to be the top guy and be the champion and all that, but that value from a business is supposed to lead to money. You want the title not because it's shiny. You're supposed to want the title because it's a showcase, and now you can get more money. Right? Exactly. At the end of the day, this is a business, and people forget that it's a business. So I told them, if you don't care about wins and losses, it makes you more valuable. Because everybody wants to win, but you have to beat somebody to get there. So if you just squash your ego and go after your strong suits, you can make as much, if not more money and get more bookings. And just go after your strong suits. And he started doing the comedy gimmick, and then I saw him come out as a hot dog, and I'm like, oh no, what did I do? But then I saw him get bookings and more useful. And next thing you know, he's arguing with somebody at Coney Island on the Nathan's the hot dog eating contest. I'm like, you made it, bro. You made it. You're using wrestling to get bookings outside of wrestling. You made it. That's exactly what I was talking about. And there's value there. But sometimes characters, storylines, they get overlooked, they get forgotten. And it's terrible because it could bring so much more value, so much more impact, but they don't. And once in a while when they do, it's entertaining, but then they do it to death. The 24/7 title, when it first started, it was must-see TV, but then they do it to death. Baron Corbin stuff right now, I dig it.
It's so bad right now. I mean, it's pretty much a reincarnation of the hardcore title.
Yeah. Oh, the 24/7 is useless. It's useless. Yeah. But hey, you know.
And what cemented that for me was when Alicia Fox became the champion for 5 minutes, and I couldn't stand her ass. As soon as they got rid of her ass, I was like, why did it take this many years? But yeah, that was trash.
Some people know what to do backstage to keep their spot. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So,
Dragon, before we end this, I just want to bring up one last subject.
I have mail for you.
One of my favorite subjects, the awesome, godlike Samoa Joe. He's scheduled to make his long-awaited definitely for me, returned to the ring this Sunday at NXT TakeOver. When he challenges Karrion Kross for the NXT title. This will mark Joe's first match since fucking February 2020 as the former NXT champion. He has focused on his on-screen time as a commentator, which he does enjoy doing. I read about, and authority figure while he recovers from various injuries. Upon his return to NXT, Joe
Master, I have mail for you.
Joe began working as NXT general manager, William Regal's enforcer. Even though, Joe was given the role, the Samoan submission machine revealed it always was planned as a gateway for his in-ring return, which I didn't know at first. I was like, really, he's here now to be a commentator again. So honestly, by the time I got to, he said, in his words, honestly, by the time I got to NXT, the pathway for me getting back into the ring had already been set. Joe said we were comfortable in that. It wasn't like we were going into we were going to keep teasing this stuff and hopefully it works out. Conscientiously, we wouldn't tease a thing unless we knew what direction we were going in. So Joe says he's not completely sure when he was officially cleared, but he knows dealing with all these concussions was far from a black and white issue, which, that kind of stuff. Joe was part of the numerous WWE talent cut days earlier this year. After working commentary at WrestleMania 37, Joe was released from WWE contract, but he was re-signed to NXT by Triple H shortly after. The initial release has been described as the easiest way to migrate the meme to NXT again. So Joe emphasized that the pink slip was not due to his inability to get cleared. It was just because he had the green light to compete anyway. So it was just a plan or whatever. I'm just happy he's coming back.
True. So first, let me just take a minute of this. Karrion Kross.
I'm gonna be Joe fans.
Karrion Kross. First, not a huge fan. I don't get it.
But they took a crap on him.
And then they killed them. Yeah. Now, the one thing I did like about Karrion Kross, the way he was presented, the entrance, the look with Scarlett, it was money. And then him coming up to Raw, and then one day they ruined all the good credit they built. They took away the dick. The entrance wasn't as cool. He lost to Jeff Hardy for no reason. It was dumb.
Just
and then he lost the chance to Keith Lee. It was dumb. And then now he's got to fight with Joe. Now it's not as believable because you're no longer this unstoppable machine. You're a person with 2 consecutive losses, or not consecutive, but 2 losses, and you're still champion. You're not as cool anymore, bro. Now Joe can just beat you, take the title, and do his thing. Joe, I'm a huge fan of Joe. I was a fan of Joe when he first started in TNA. When I first saw Joe, I wanted him to face Kurt Angle back, even before Kurt Angle left. So when Kurt Angle first came in, him versus Joe, still one of my favorite feuds in wrestling. Joe can talk, Joe can do everything. Just he has to stay healthy. If he stays healthy, Joe can be a megastar anywhere. Even the feud he had with Brock, just them on the mic, it's funny. It's money. So seeing Joe get back in the ring and a crowd that's going to love him, I'm with it. I just hope he can stay healthy and wish nothing but the best for Joe.
Amen. That's right. So, Black Dragon, Mr. Maurice Jones, I want to thank you for being here. Your insight has been impeccable.
Thank you.
I would like to invite you back to a future show for sure.
I will gladly come. I would like to talk more.
Master, I have mail for you.
About my career and things I went through and, answering more questions, but it's always nice to be in the same realm as a goddess, so it is appreciated.
Yes, definitely. let's definitely do that. I'm sorry, we go off on so many subjects that I didn't get to everything that I wanted to.
No problem at all.
But definitely, you'll be back. Actually, we'll book a date right now when we get off this.
Sounds
So-
good. I look forward to it.
Let me play this last message.
And Eva Marie just go away. And I'm not really, I've said this before, but I'm really not a fan of Carmella either. You know, after watching Total Divas, you know, she doesn't like to get hurt in the ring. Like, then what are you doing there for?
Thank you. Oh man, I can't stand. I don't like neither one of them. So I mean, obviously, my type of female champion is like Charlotte Flair or Rhea Ripley,
Rhea Ripley. Yes, ma'am.
Asuka, or Toni Storm. I like, you know, strong bad bitches. Period.
Facts.
Alright, guys, thanks for being here.
Master, I have mail for you.
BMF Goddess. Subscribe to my YouTube. Follow Dragon. Dragon, do you put your social medias on your profile? If not,
Not
do
at all.
that.
Not at all. People, unlike you, I don't want you to follow me. If I want you to follow me, I'll find you and tell you to follow me. Don't follow
There
me.
you go. There you go. So, good night, guys. May the
Have a good
force
one.
be.